support cost averaging.
Quick way to make
To add another short, it's my place right there.
Bitcoin, known for both big rises and big drops, has recently been talked about mostly because of the declines. It's not hard to see why. Drops of around 50% in just a few months are rare in traditional markets, but pretty normal in crypto. Right now, the hype around Bitcoin has cooled off, and it'll likely stay that way until it makes another big move. So before that happens, and it probably will sooner or later, it's worth understanding whether it actually makes sense to buy, especially when others are making decisions based on emotions. History shows that cryptocurrencies tend to move in cycles, and the biggest gains usually don't come when Bitcoin is all over the headlines, but rather during quieter periods when the hype fades.
That's my little trading setup right here.
Little trading setup.
Our little
Some grass, but
there's some little
not a
grass,
problem.
yeah.
Here, it's like there's a chart and there's like, let's get to the main topic of this video.
Yeah, of course.
So,
the best thing that you can do on a Bitcoin chart, just with Bitcoin, is buying when it's pretty much going down a lot. You have to accept the vision of this currency. Yeah, so unfortunately it broke this level, and it's most likely going to fall right there.
So what is like the smartest way to, most efficient way to buy Bitcoin? Like, let's get to a point, man.
The most efficient way is a way that don't really stress you a lot. You don't think about it when you're going to sleep, and it just works long term. And the best way is just buying on support levels, which I drew right there.
Seeing Bitcoin as a quick way to make money is a mistake. Just looking at a chart makes it clear. You might get lucky, time it perfectly, and multiply your capital within a year, but you could just as easily buy at the wrong moment and end up waiting years just to break even. The key thing to understand is that the extreme volatility of Bitcoin is a core part of how it works. If you're aiming for potentially high long-term returns, you have to be ready to accept that. You can try to perfectly time the bottom, but with that approach, you might as well just go all in at a roulette. The odds are pretty similar. Instead, you could use DCA, which is not investment advice. You buy at regular intervals, regardless of the price. This way you reduce the risk of buying and then seeing the price drop soon after.
You may think that stop losses are not that very useful, and maybe dollar cost averaging is a better form to manage risk, right? So
the problem with dollar cost averaging is that you may encounter some problems with the fact that you are indeed risking much more money by doing this. Because what is a dollar cost averaging? It's a form of managing risk that includes putting another trade within the movement of the price. So for example, if you put a trade on a gold at the price of $100 and you're putting a short there, you may encounter a problem that the price is indeed going up, no down. So then you may want to add another short at, for example, 110, and then another short at 120, and you can add another trade and another trade, and maybe eventually the price will go down. But it's a little bit of a gamble, right? So
what really determines whether buying is worth it isn't today's price, but your patience. In the world of crypto, months can feel like forever, but over the years, those who stay calm while the rest of the market reacts emotionally usually come out ahead.
Best place to accumulate large amount of Bitcoin. What's your recommendation here?
Yeah, you can try to just buy a ledger or Trezor. Trezor is a little better.
Physical. You would go more like physical with.
Surely, yeah.
You were talking about physical wallets.
Yep.
Well, when it comes to storing large amount of Bitcoin, like I don't know, $200 up, yeah. What is the best digital platform to store your Bitcoin. I'm not talking about physical.
Yep, you may potentially store it on just your crypto exchange, but if you want to, have your private key and your public key, because your crypto wallet on an exchange doesn't necessarily. Digital wallets are an option, I guess.
So digital wallets are like the future of crypto, and physical ones are like so.
So yeah, I want to show you my little trading station. It's, every trader has like this his favorite spot to trade. It may be your house, if you have one, if maybe your flat, your room. Unfortunately, I don't have neither of them, but I needed to find my own place in this world. So maybe it's not a great, maybe it's not something that I should be proud of, but and that's my little point of accomplishment right here. So let's go. Alright, so we are at my own personal trading room, my own personal trading space. I've managed to buy it on my own from my trading experience, from my trading courses, from my whole trading money. So it's my place right there, right here. You only need two things to trade with great prosperity, right? You need to have your own laptop, Bitcoin chart, and Monster. I do always sit right there with some beautiful view on the whole horizon right there. I just take it like that and try to make some money for a living, right?
My beauty. Love it.
This is a little bit off topic thing, but I'm just gonna get straight into it. Yamaha, they really do make the best motorcycles possible. Yeah, this is it's me, and probably the best purchase ever made in my entire life. Very not cheap motorcycle. Yamaha motorcycle, about $6,000 for this awesome, how should I call it, piece of machinery. It's really incredible how cool the motorcycle looks. 4-cylinder, 600cc, pretty good.
A lot of people do tend to ask me, how do I afford to have such piece of machinery, and how do I relax after all these hours of endless trading? And honestly, my answer would be one word only. It would be Yamaha. I'm here alone in this forest. I'm going and then I'll here. The velocity, the speed that you can get to, I would call it art. It's so beautiful. A lot of people do tend to ask me, how do I afford, and how do you even buy this type of motorcycle? It's Yamaha, and the answer is not that simple. It's kind of complicated. It gets complicated. It's not really that simple. It's not that easy to afford and relax, because it is a form of, I would even call it the form of meditation.
There's a shit on my elbow.